of an interesting answer about how Donkey Kong in the game is a different Donkey Kong from the one in the movie, because the Donkey Kong in the movie is a character, but the Donkey Kong in the game is a player stand-in, which is different. And so he, like...
Okay.
Love that update. Reb, you went to GDC last week, and the thing I want to hear about first is you interviewed some of the devs of Donkey Kong Bananza.
I sure did. They actually gave a talk at GDC. Oh, I don't have it in front of me. What was it called? Constructive Destruction, something voxels. The talk was specifically about voxels. And if you have not read like the Ask the Developer interviews, basically the entire world of Donkey Kong Bananza is made up of voxels, which are basically 3D pixels. And that's how all the destruction works. Like the talk was them explaining how that contributed to the game design and basically being able to sort of rip up terrain and have it make sense and have it feel good. And it was a really, really cool talk. And then I got to sit down for an interview with them. And we mostly did talk about voxels because the interview was sort of limited to, hey, please talk about their talk. So I couldn't ask them anything too crazy. But we had a really interesting conversation. I asked them about a lot of the very specific blocks in the game, like the liftoff ore and the switcheroo goo, which I thought were just really fascinating uses of the voxels. I didn't get too many weird development anecdotes, but I think my favorite one is I was asking them about, specifically asking them about the salt and the acid dissolving stuff in the feast layer.
Yep.
Is that what it's called? And they didn't talk too much about the mechanics behind that, but they did tell me that I guess the way the feast layer came about is they were just playing around with voxels and prototyping, and one of their developers just made an enormous burger. And like they walked in and were like, oh man, I gotta eat that. It looks really good.
That's great.
And he was talking about like wanting to like really liking bacon burgers specifically. And it was just really
There is
silly.
bacon on the burger.
There's
in
bacon
that
on
game,
the
yeah.
There's bacon on the burger. This was Kenta Motokura who was telling me this. I also was talking to programmer Tatsuya Kurihara. So yeah, they were really great. They were good sports about some of my questions. I was at one point asking them if Donkey Kong sounded like Seth Meyers in their heads, to which they actually they gave me sort of an interesting answer about how.
Sorry, Seth Rogen.
Sorry, Seth.
Okay.
Meyers. Seth Rogen. Oh my gosh. Sorry. They gave me sort of an interesting answer about how Donkey Kong in the game is a different Donkey Kong from the one in the movie, because the Donkey Kong in the movie is a character, but the Donkey Kong in the game is a player stand-in, which is different. And so he, in their heads, he does talk, but he sounds different. He doesn't sound like Seth Rogen. So I thought that was sort of a strange, interesting answer that I don't think was intended to give away any deep lore or anything, but was just like a...
It's all part of the Donkey Kong multiverse, the Donkiverse.
Yeah. So...
I think that just goes to show what we talked about last week a little with Seth's hot take about the Mario movie. Oh, I skipped your guys' hot take. Sorry, I'm like really jet lagged, by the way. I got, like 3 a.m. last night. We got to circle back to that.
I was gonna fight you if you didn't bring it up by the end of the show, actually.
Yeah, we'll go back. I think that it just goes back to what we talked about last week, is that I don't worry that the Mario movie is going to infiltrate how Nintendo creates and thinks about their games. I think that answer shows a lot of that. Yeah, it's really cool though. I thought that the talk was cool too. Like the big quote that came out, it was like, "It is more fun to destroy that which is beautiful," and just talking about how they wanted to make this really highly detailed world for you to just completely tear apart. Yeah, I walk away from that talk just even more impressed with Donkey Kong Bananza than I already was. I think it's just brilliant, and the world they built, these voxels, super impressive, and love to see everything that they kind of thought about behind the scenes.
One other thing that you just reminded me of. So they gave that quote, and I asked them about it, and I asked them, what makes, okay, so you guys have spent, however many years in development trying to figure out how to make things satisfying to destroy. Like, what is it? What's the magic formula? Like, what makes something satisfying versus not satisfying to destroy? And it was fascinating because they still don't know. Like, because you know it when you feel it, right? Like, you just play test it, and when you punch something, it's either satisfying or not. But they don't actually have a magic answer to what is the line between fun to destroy and not fun to destroy. And I thought that was really interesting, that it's something that you can spend so much time working on and perfecting in such a wonderful way, because everything in Bananza is very fun to destroy, but you still don't understand, it's just such a feel.
I love that feeling so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool because it is just like, I think it's why Bonanza is, there was a lot of hesitation about it before it came out, is that you don't really know what that feels like until the controller's in your hand and you feel the combination of the varying sound effects and the HD rumble and just the graphics of all these things crumbling. Like it's just very entrancing. Yeah. Cool. Well, that's awesome. Go check out Reb's full interview up on IGN. Okay, sorry, everyone. We're going to rewind to our bonus round of hot takes. Reb, you missed the show last week. Let's hear one of your hot takes.
Thanks for watching this clip from Nintendo Voice Chat. Be sure to catch the full episode over at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of NVC drop every Friday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. With the Nintendo Switch 2 finally here, there is so much to dive into. We appreciate you tuning in, and don't forget, NVC is the only place you can get the thing.